All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 19.
All right, y'all. We
shit.
had ourselves a bit of a monkey time in the previous episode.
And a sneak attack.
A sneak
Multiple,
attack.
in fact. Yeah.
A love confession.
Yeah, on feelings and on napes.
Yes, exactly.
They were both rather successful.
They sniped their targets.
Zeke got zooked.
Zeke
The
got
turns
zooked.
have tabled. And, yeah, but Eren's getting closer. Yep.
We've still got, I would say, for the most part, like, the warriors are all, like, capable of at least doing something.
Something, yeah.
So it's basically just going to come down to everything just converging in on these two. And looking at the episode, it says the name is Two Brothers.
Right,
so,
which that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Something tells me they're not gonna stop them here. It's just it's gonna be close.
Maybe Peak will be able to set them up for that second shot. That just finishing straight down.
I mean, we could get a flock death this episode.
Wouldn't that be glorious? Yeah.
Just a flock of birds just comes by right in front of him right as he's about to
just shit all over him.
Yeah. But we got some comments from y'all last episode, and these look like some doozies. So let's get into them.
Fun ones.
Yeah, let's get into them. And if you want to submit comments that can be read for this episode's reaction and discussion, make sure to watch all the way to the end of the discussion, where we will leave a code, which is usually some kind of phrase that correlates to the episode. And if your comment has that, then Jacob, the manga reader,
I will look through them, and then in the next episode, there will be 3 of them present here.
Yes, indeed. So the first one that we've got is from Jess. Sneaky peek, I don't think it's a coincidence that Armin's body language and mannerisms when he's making his speech to the rest of the 104th, the way his fists were clenched, slightly raised as he began to speak louder and with conviction, looks similar to the way Grisha's did when he was being asked by one of the restorationists, I believe it was Falco's uncle, "Then how do you know the truth?" And he answered, "Isn't it staring us in the face? I know it because I believed in our founder Ymir." Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
interesting
good.
little parallel, huh?
That's a really cool parallel.
Yep.
Grisha didn't know Ymir personally, nor had the full context of the history, but he needed Ymir to be on the good side so that he can view Marley as the bad guys. Here, Armin knew Eren personally and sees him as family. He needed Eren to still be that same Eren he knew and grew up with, so that he has a reason to save him. This is a good comment.
Isn't it great?
I mean, Armin, as far as
I didn't even think of that until I read the comment.
Yeah, as far as the character that kind of carries with him, in some ways, the memory of Eren.
Because he has always been the one that's closest to Eren. Even though, Mikasa was, family, not family. One, she didn't know him as long, but 2, she had a very particular view of Eren.
And also, Eren's relationship with her was one of where you could tell he was always running off ahead. Yeah,
there was more distance, whereas him and Armin were like this.
Whereas he would stoop down to basically pick up Armin, and
they dream when reading the book together and stuff like that.
Right. And you almost feel really sad for Mikasa in those scenes because looking back with the stuff that's been happening recently, it makes it even more sad for her side of things. But Armin channeling that little bit of Grisha, it's whose memories are these? But anyone can become a god or a devil. All it takes is for someone to claim it to be true. So which one are you, Eren? Well, the ED the ED hath told us which one he is. He hath become a devil. Yes, indeed. Isn't it poetic that the person who always protected Zeke's nape ended up doing the opposite and actually succeeded?
Beautiful.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Peak is one of those characters that, in the story thus far, has really sneaked up on us.
Yep.
I mean,
she's really helped carry the warrior group. You know? Just whenever she's around, it'd be easy to sort of forget that she was there. But no.
Yeah. Peak's there.
Yeah.
Peak's there making big changes, big help, and she really is, I would say, holding down these two really broken boys that are on two ends of a very specific spectrum of past trauma. So yeah. Let's see what happens now that her Titan is temporarily out of the fight.
Right, because Reiner and Porco are definitely out of the fight for
at least a
good while.
Yeah. And Sharon Coe with Sneaky Peek, Niall letting Falco go and saying that this is no place for children reminded me so much of Sasha's dad. Yes, and how important it is for the adults to take the role and initiative to get the children out of the forest.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. Isayama does such a fantastic job developing these side characters to really embody the message Mr. Browse was trying to convey. I think that that's really the area in where Isayama's character writing shines, because I would say that in a lot of cases, most of his characters, by the by, are rather simple.
Yeah.
And they kind of serve to accentuate a specific theme.
Right.
And that's
the
not
themes of Attack on Titan.
That's not a bad thing. It's just something where when you go through the story, you know, over the longer course of it, you realize, oh, we're not gonna get some insanely in-depth, severely like specific focused screen time on one character, maybe until we get basically Reiner in season 4.
Well, because it's really hard to strike that balance between the high-octane moments that Attack on Titan has and the quiet moments for the large cast of characters that it has, right? So when you have these side characters, the way Isayama uses them to support the themes, I feel like that's kind of the best direction to go for. And
for a show like this.
For a show like this, and he does it really, really well.
Yeah, there's a lot of special moments where you can tell that Isayama needed a side character to be the backdrop for, like Zeke's backstory.
Sure.
Zaver was a fantastic character for what he served in the story.
Yep.
And then, you know, Mr. Browse is a great example of that as well, going all the way back to season 2, episode 2. He provided almost a hard exposition dump about the themes of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, are you paying attention to what this show is about? Like,
it's about more than just Titans and monsters and stuff.
Yeah. And the final comment from Webflush, Sneaky Peek. I feel like whether Gabby or Falco is the one you just want to protect with your life depends on what sort of person you are. Maybe it's like a dog or cat person thing. For me, it's Gabby. But I do enjoy how much Caleb loves Falco and is terrified at the prospect of him ever being in any danger. Yeah, I definitely feel like Falco and Gabby carry two sides of the Attack on Titan fandom kind of in their character relationship. And that's why, in some ways, that if I was to go back and rewatch the earlier parts of season 4 with that meta knowledge, what are the two other ones? Sophie
Udo
and Udo.
And Zofia.
Yeah, they really don't.
Yeah,
you can tell they were made to die.
Right.
In hindsight, you can absolutely tell they were made to die, and that Gabby and Falco were the end game characters there. And in some ways, what I'm impressed with is that Isayama has made it so terrifying over and over again about whether Gabby or Falco will make it to the end. And yet, because of how much we've spent with them thus far, I am 100% certain, like 10 billion% certain that they're going to make it all the way to the end game. They're like some of the few characters in the show that I know have to.
Isayama introduces 2 named children and then kills them.
Well, no, I mean,
suppose he did.
That he literally did that.
Did.
That's my point, is that he didn't kill Gabby and Falco because of what they represent in the story right now. Either way, though, this was a big episode for both of those little cadets. It's amazing how natural it feels to root for all these Marley characters that we just got introduced to this season, yet we're already fully on board with their journeys. Oh, how true is that?
That was like the main reason why I picked this comment. I'm like, yes, because that has to be, like, I feel like because the season has been split into the 2 parts, it's easy to kind of like forget that Attack on Titan just all of a sudden became a new show with the turn from season 3 to season 4, right? And the backstory of the basement and everything.
It's very ballsy.
Super ballsy. Like, and I remember when that happened in the manga, a lot of people were upset about it. I was even upset about it at the beginning because it's like chapters coming out monthly. It's a long time you're going without like seeing the characters that you've come to know and love over the course of this story. But the fact that these 2 are able to get so close to our hearts so relatively quickly, considering the kind of show Attack on Titan is, that's just yes.
I would love to rewind time and have a parallel world line where I read the manga and been a part of that kind of community kind of response, because that feels like something where I don't know really how I would have responded.
Gotcha.
Like things shifting so dramatically and then waiting a month in between chapters.
Yeah.
And that's like, what is that, like a third of an episode typically?
It's usually like half an episode. It's for the most part, it's around, because they're long chapters, so it's about 2 chapters per episode.
Gotcha. They're not comparable to like a One Piece chapter.
Right, but take what we have right now as for the pacing of things and how long it took to get back to these characters and multiply that by 8. That's about what you had to deal with. Maybe 10, you know.
So there were years that you were spending in Marley, basically.
I can't remember what the stats were, but I want to say that like chapter 100 or whatever it was, where like declaring the war on parody and, you know, and Eren showing up, that was when season 2 started. So, you know, like, and I might be a bit off on that, you know, don't quote me, but like, yeah, so it's,
oh my God,
it's been a journey.
Okay, let's finish this comment here. Amazing character writing was the one thing missing from that first season of Attack on Titan, and now this show is pretty much the full package. That is an interesting comment there, because I definitely feel like, looking back, my favorite character writing is in seasons 2, 3, and 4. Like, it is not in season 1.
Yeah, because a lot of season 1 is setting up the world and the mechanics and how the Titans work and things like that. Like, introducing the characters more than, like, fleshing them out fully.
Yeah. In fact, season 2 really addressed that in almost a very hard meta way, with how the little episodic little focuses on characters like Sasha were very much the, hey, you don't really know these characters yet. And given that most of season 2 is about the developments of 4 of them specifically that got like the least amount of screen time of everybody else in season 1 of the 104th. Yeah, they kind of needed to do that.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think that is a good point, is that as the show has gotten more complicated, in some ways probably the part that's I would say the only really hard flaw of Attack on Titan is that you can tell that the plot has gotten so unwieldy at times that Isayama's had to like barely juggle things into position as the story transitions towards specific like big plot beats, especially in season 3, part 1.
Right.
But the fact that the character writing has gotten so strong by taking things that we already knew and had understood on a surface level with a bunch of the season 1 characters, and then recontextualizing them through the Marley kind of adjustment. That was just powerful stuff. Hence why Reiner is like in my top 3 favorite characters in the story.
Yeah. Like Attack on Titan, you know, it's been my anime for a long time, right? But the fact that we can see it grow as much as it has from season 1 to season 4, part 2, and you know, and whatever finalist or most final season or movie or whatever comes after, you know, like it's been a ride. It's been a ride. But y'all, if you want to leave a comment that's going to get featured like this, make sure to watch the end of the discussion where we'll leave a code or phrase for your comment to get featured. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, I didn't even think about this, but Zeke being, like, down now means that all kinds of people, just basic humans running around, can do all kinds of shit now. Because there isn't some shotgun siege weapon
from the sky right
people.
Now. Yeah. Oh!
Like this.
Oh! Oh, shit! Oh! Damn! Oh, my God! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, he's done! Oh! Whoa! 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 Peak! Dude, this music is getting my heart rate up so hard.
I know, right?
Damn, like, the fact that this is Attack on Titan, and most of the fighting right now is being done by just humans,
that just section
I know, it's just that piece just carved out of him, yeah. Oh, he's conscious. Well, shit. Oh. Oh! Oh shit! 2 brothers! It's not just... Oh! Are these his final moments? Oh crap, yep, here we go. Wait! Oh! No! No! Cole, what are you doing? No!
He said that was his plan last episode.
Oh shit! Fuck! No!
Brothers and brothers.
He's gonna do it, man. He's gonna do it. And that's why I have to do this. Shit. Go! Go! No, Cole. Cole! He looks to Gabby.
He might be okay, you know?
No. No, they're all starting to glow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Shit! There's one right by Zeke! No! Oh my god. Well,
the whole city gets lit up.
The perfect time to bring back this music.
Full circle.
Yep.
Just like episode 1.
No! No! Oh!
Uh-huh.
Shit!
Uh-huh.
No! Oh my god. No, Gabby's gonna need to kill Falco! Get the gun, get the gun. Get the gun.
Gotta help Reiner.
No.
Our boy's been through enough.
Yeah, I know, I know. Yeah. Oh my god.
Keep going, Reiner.
Oh! Oh! Oh my god. Oh shit! Whoa! No, he must have jumped out then. In the midst of the explosion. Wow! Wow!
Yep.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
The heroes are here.
Oh god! Yep, he jumped out, yep. No! Ryder, come on!
It would save Falco.
Was what he wanted to keep her from having to take so that he would save her from that life. Wait. He's stopping? He's providing an easier target for him. No! So I'm gonna continue that. Oh my god, that animation! Holy shit! Whoa! Oh shit! Whoa, that was a move!
Yep.
Yeah, of course he jumped out, yeah. Wow! Wow! Well, it's happening! It's happening! Oh! Wow!
Uh-huh. Eren's got
Eren's friends, yep. Wow! Oh, no way, Gabby? No
Play of the game!
No way! No way! Oh! Oh! Whoa! Oh! Wait, that's the first half? That's only the first half?
You're lucky that it didn't end on that as a cliffhanger. Like, imagine that as an episode cliffhanger.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Was I right? Yeah. Was I right?
Well, we'll see. Let's see.
Baseball time? No way. No way.
俺の手で巨人が支配した2000年の歴史にケリをつける。固い握手でも交わしたいところだが、まあ今俺たちが接触するのはまずいよな。
Okay.
受け取ってくれ。
And tosses it. Nice.
エレン、必ずみんなを救ってあげよ
う。Wait. He didn't catch it.
落としちまった。病院暮らしで体がなまっちまったか
な。Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
All right, let's see the Beyblade.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! It happens!
Yeah.
It's happening right now! Oh my god.
This is beautiful.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Whoa, look at all this imagery.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I love how he chose to do this.
The coordinate, yep. Chained.
おそらく始祖を継承した王家はここに来たんだろう。始祖の力を行使する際に。
Oh. So he basically opened the gate. Gotcha.
お前が回復し、目を覚ますまで。
Oh fuck.
たような気がする。
Whoa.
何年も。
Yeah, what kind of perspective have you had?
It's a good question.
成功したんだよ。
Holy shit.
Oh,
here she is. Oh god. Oh, here she is. I love that Zeke is chained here.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, showing that Eren has freedom here, but he doesn't.
Right. At one time.
Wow.
Just a couple episodes ago.
His fingernails haven't grown. He's been here for so long. Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. But Ymir can too.
Yep.
Which is curious. So something else is restricting her. Oh, fuck. Well,
yeah.
Rumbling! Rumbling! It's coming!
全てのエルディア人を今後永久に子供を作れない体にしろと地ならしで連合軍を潰すのはその後でいい。
Yeah.
全てのエルディア人を安楽死させる。
Yeah. Oh shit.
I was born into this world.
Right. Fuck. Alright, Eren. This is your moment.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah, what's he gonna do? God, Zeke has gotta be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I was born into this world. Yeah. Holy shit. Oh, her eyes. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. She's going to Zeke. Oh. Okay. Wait.
歴代の壁の王と違い、初代王の思想に染まらぬままここに到達した。 気の遠くなる時間を始祖と共に過ごす中で線のちぎりを無力化していくことに
Oh, come on, wait.
絶大な力
Have like a debate or something. Come on, let's hash this out.
自分の意志を持たぬ奴隷だ
Yeah, why is that though?
It's a good question.
The deal?
始祖の力は俺が手にしたバカお前は鍵に過ぎなかったんだよ
No way.
お前の本音を聞くまで待っていてよかった
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Yep.
お前は悪くない俺たちは最悪の父親に生み出されてしまった哀れな被害者だしかし俺には助けてくれる別の父親がいたお前にも誰か助けてくれる人が必要だったんだ
Holy shit.
俺は決してお前を見捨てはしない俺が始祖の力でお前を治してやるやめろ無駄だ世界を救う時はお前と一緒
Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Two brothers. Yeah. Go to the
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh.
No. Imagine for a second. I know it wouldn't have really worked, but like, imagine if they had ended with Beyblade Eren Head as
Beyblade Eren Head.
That's what the community calls it as the end of an episode.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay.
We full Ava now.
We full Ava now. So
Yeah.
if they're touching here, he's going to try to convince Eren. This will be the debate. This will be the conversation at the end.
And that's what I love
things.
about this is that it's the okay, Eren, I might have the power here right now, but
I want you to watch
because I
this.
care about you as my brother, I'm going to try and convince you that this is actually what must happen.
The thing is that Zeke could still be actually pulling a fast one on him, and that it's not that he's obtained the Founder's power. It's that he's like, no. I've obtained the like Ymir specifically is like working with me now.
Right. That's basically what he said is happening.
It's ultimately her power, basically.
Because Eren had the founding titan, that brought them both there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it, y'all.
Yeah,
we're doing it. We're at the coordinate.
We're there.
Full pads.
Indeed.
Ava.
So,
let's go.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh my god.
Wasn't that
like,
great?
This episode was just like I'm on this roller
Hold on,
coaster.
dear butts. Yeah. Like,
so, okay. Okay.
Before we get to the cosmic outside of time
let's deal with the fight that happened. So, Porco's dead.
Yeah.
Falco became a Titan. He's become a warrior Titan, or at least he will become one eventually.
Right, he consumed the spinal fluid and all that stuff, so
Galliard,
he's got
Porco.
13 years counting now.
He has 13 years. Which, in my opinion, means that we've now basically determined the way that this ending has to go.
Yeah.
Is that Eren's path will take him to basically removing Titans from the world. Like actually removing the ability for Eldians to turn into Titans. Like that's going to be, instead of euthanization, he's going to take away the Titans. But the problem is that the only way he can do that is if he's done the rumbling before that.
To make it so that the Eldians won't be killed.
So the Eldians won't be killed afterwards. The problem is that if he does that, it still pushes the problem down 100 or 200 years later.
Yeah.
When people are like, do you remember what the Eldians did?
Like, because the whole thing of like, oh, Titans have been used to Charis. Oh, okay, all right, makes sense. So that would make things hard for Eldians, even if they weren't Titans anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, because of Eldians, the rumbling happened.
Right. If we can,
that's a bit more extreme.
Yeah, this is the difference though, is if we can create the perfect singular devil, the devil of all Earth, if you will, someone that is so perfectly exemplifies the things that is the terror of Eldians turning into Titans in Eren. then maybe there's hope.
Well,
because then if Eren dies,
uh-huh.
you might have a chance. You might have a chance to stop the cycle of violence, specifically with Eldians. It's not going to solve humanity's problems.
And to be fair, if you had a bunch of Eldians, like, say, the warriors from Marley fighting against the things that other Eldians are doing, then it becomes less of a thing of, like, it would probably be harder to have just general hatred towards all Eldians, especially if the Titans were gone. Like, because then the problem would probably shift more to, Titans are dangerous, we can't have you guys around, you know?
It would fall basically to those, like, Armin, you know, someone who could be a historian, someone who could basically be like, y'all,
But they fucking helped the rumbling happen, if this is what causes the rumbling.
Well, the rumbling is going to happen. It's just a question of, again, to what scope, you know, to what degree... And in what way does it stop? Basically.
But Armin and Mikasa helped this all.
Oh, they absolutely
they were instrumental, vital. It would not have happened without them.
Right, because they're basically throwing their die in with Eren that
they can trust.
That they can trust him, and I think for the most part, they can't fully. Trust him. It's the thing of where Zeke obviously couldn't fully trust Eren here. The fact that Zeke gets that minor bit of extra time in the time dilation kind of, you know, nonsense of this whole thing, because he has royal blood, okay. I like that that's going to create an emotional conflict here, primarily. The idea, though, that he needs Eren to be convinced because he's his brother, I think is more emotionally rich of a storytelling thing than the fact that he needs to try and trick Eren in some way. But I could still see it being a thing where he needs to trick Eren essentially by like going on a bit of a journey with them through paths, basically, to look at the way in which Zeke's like, no, my logic is sound.
Right.
This is the way things need to go.
And that would be rather poetic if it ended up being something where, like, because Eren, whether he's gonna be full protagonist to the end or like, you know, go villain or whatever, or if he already has, you know, like, it's a very complicated situation, but it would certainly be poetically tragic if then the main character, who was always, you know, carried that sort of fire of humanity, right? If the fire dies, basically.
Well, I think at this point it's basically just a question of how Eren dies. Like, I really think it's like 90% likely that he's going to die.
Well, but like there's the literal physical death, right?
Yes,
and then there's the metaphorical death, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I'm 100% in with that. But like the ED very much, I would say, paints a clear picture that Eren is going to die so that he can bring about this new world.
Okay.
But before we get to that, the unthinkable happened. Falco has been turned into a Titan.
Yep.
Colt begging Zeke to be like, please.
And of course it does nothing.
Yeah. And I loved that they very clearly set up the mechanism by which Zeke was able to have this moment happen, because freaking Flock literally started this domino effect. Flock harassed Peak and Magath enough that they weren't able to double tap immediately.
Or triple tap, yeah. Because theoretically...
Like they gave him that brief bit of time to scream, basically.
Right, but theoretically, even if they had been able to double tap just like sooner, you know, maybe that would have been before Zeke had been able to get out of the Titan to pretend to be dead and all of that stuff, right? Right. You know, and then maybe that would have worked. But fucking Flock.
Yeah. but the whole fight with Eren though was freaking intense. I love Porco's sacrifice here. Yep, the idea that he goes in, he grabs Eren's leg, he's holding him back, takes an absolute beating.
Bites through his leg.
Yeah. Eren then does everything he can to hold off Reiner. Then Reiner's trying to hold off Falco and Eren. Eren pulls off the hardening trick to then basically keep Reiner there, which is perfect. It was this constant one-upping of each other back and forth,
lots of Titan tactics being used.
Yes, lots of stuff involved there. But the moment for Reiner where he's just like, if Zeke's done, then okay, I can let this happen.
Right.
And I can be done, right?
And what I love about...
so beautiful. It's
so
tragic.
I love that moment so much because it's something where... Reiner has wanted to die for a long time, and he doesn't get to. The plot armored Titan, damn it, you can't rest, right?
And Porco gets to basically give it back to him of like,
sure,
yeah, fuck you, Reiner.
Right,
I am better than you.
Yep, and he actually saves him, right?
And he saves him
but also the idea that Reiner, it wasn't just something of I desire to die, so I guess I'll just die. It's I can't let this kid be a mindless Titan. Yeah, I will absolutely give him another 13 years. Yeah. Yep. Because
Reiner's a fucking hero, y'all. Like Porco is as well, obviously, but it's just a really cool moment to kind of be like and check. One warrior gone. Who's next? Well, Peak's probably next, if anything, because Reiner can't die. Reiner's got to suffer his whole way through this.
Oh boy.
If anything, I'm just really glad at this point that we have Reiner basically there to probably protect Falco after whatever the result of this paths exchange is,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, really,
like depending on what happens from this, if it could go anywhere from, fairly innocuous to could anyone be protected from this?
Could anyone be protected when the
especially
walls just shatter?
Especially when they're right next to the walls.
I mean, you know what I really love about this in a really small, just perfect way is that Zeke basically had his moment here. He screamed.
Oh yeah.
And all the garrison
that was such
troops,
an awesome shot of just Shiganshina lights going up everywhere, Christmas.
Yeah, that was terrifying. But that, I think, is the only rumbling Zeke's going to have basically control over. I think that was like the moment where Zeke's like, I'm having my moment. I have to do this. It's such a shame for you and Colton Falco. I get it. I understand.
I am also a brother.
Yeah, Zeke's such a fantastic character, but he's like, this is it. And then Eren's like, you call that a rumbling? And then it's just, all right.
Yeah.
But Gabby, though, I thought she was gonna have to shoot Falco. I was like, is she gonna just be like, I'm sorry, Falco, I don't want you to have to suffer like this. If you are in this situation where,
God, no.
What can I do but have you be a mindless Titan here? I'm so glad that didn't happen. That was Falco, of all the things for the Chekhov's literal gun.
Confesses, and then Gabby just pops him in the next episode. I'm sure that would be traumatizing. The fandom would have
really hated Gabby at that point.
Yeah, well, that's another reason why I wanted to see the Beyblade Eren head be a cliffhanger for an episode.
Oh.
That's because that's what I couldn't remember exactly how the chapters went, and I thought that might have been the cliffhanger of the previous episode.
Oh, God.
And then there was the padding, and then they ended with Zeke getting shot, and I was like, oh, okay. But I was very, so if you're wondering why I was sort of more bothered than it might seem like normal, because I was like, that would have been such an amazing thing to just leave on for a week of the spinning decapitated head of your protagonist flying through the air.
I would have lost my head.
Yeah, people would have lost their shit. And then so
I just can't believe we're here. It feels like there should be
wait, this is too soon. We just started part 2 of season 4.
Are we gonna have okay, so this is my thought here. The reason why this has to go Eren's way is because, one, the rumbling hasn't happened.
It would be a bit weird if the OP was saying rumbling, it's coming, and it didn't happen.
The rumbling has to happen. It's just, whose rumbling is it?
How does it happen?
To what scope? Extent?
Yep.
And then when does it end?
And to be fair, given what happened here, it's possible that it could be Zeke's rumbling. Because his plan did include not just doing the euthanasia, but you're euthanizing euthanization.
Yeah.
But it was also to use the rumbling to basically make it so that the Eldians could live out their final years in peace, right? Until they all just die out. Now, I don't remember what extent of rumbling he was wanting to use, whether he was just wanting to actually start it or just use it as a threatening thing, but given that this attack is happening, they only really have the one shot,
I would assume Zeke really wants to probably have as few deaths as possible. I think he would basically create a really, really intimidating wall. Just much more visible and much more
he does he just drops the outer wall or something like that, you know.
I
don't know.
Basically sends like a small chunk of them, and then just has them go
keep people
until
busy for
until like they basically give out or something. But I really don't think that's going to happen here. I feel like on some level, the way that this has to play out is that Eren has already basically tapped into paths like before this. Like,
so then the question is how'd that happen?
Well, that's the thing.
Because him and Zeke did not come into contact.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Though.
Unless it was like when the ball was thrown, it happened, and then that's why he dropped it or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. This has been something that I've been waiting to see when it gets brought back up again, because Eren tapped into paths to get some of Grisha's memories back in season 3, part 2.
Yeah, in the cave with the Rice family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh no, that was season 3, part 1.
Right. So Historia and her dad, right, when they touch his back.
Right, but then there's also the part where Eren is like literally in the prison and he's like remembering all the stuff. That's how we got the lore dump and everything.
Right. And then he's like, yeah. And there's the whole like looking in the mirror thing and that whole deal.
Well, then like, you know, Shingeki no Kyojin, you know.
Oh, right.
Eren has been intermittently getting stuff from Grisha the owl or what have you.
Right. Like, the amount that can sort of seep through the cracks despite the fact that he doesn't have royal blood.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But there's been a moment that just is kind of there where Eren touched someone else with royal blood.
Okay.
And that was Historia.
Right.
That was at the end of season 3, part 2, where he kind of kneels there, kind of holds her hand.
Yes, and then
he kind of like he gets this like viscerally intense face.
Yeah, and then Hanji does the whole thing of like, like he's going through a phase or something like that, right?
It's just a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And
right, because he didn't want to tell everyone else that
Historia had royal blood.
Right, because then they would try and like turn her into like a Titan or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the difference is that Historia is not a Titan.
Right.
Historia not being a Titan means he's not getting some full experience, basically.
Correct.
But he would get something.
He cannot fully utilize the founding Titan or the founding. Yeah.
Well, yeah. He basically can't do what's happening here.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
That's why Zeke is such a big deal. But the difference is that is still a person with royal blood.
That's true. Yeah.
And that was very clearly a paths moment that happened that has never been like explained the detail as to the extent of what that could have been.
Gotcha. I don't remember that scene in too much detail. Because like when I rewatch stuff from season 3, part 2, it's not the episodes after Shiganshina battle. But
and also remember there's another thing
other than the whole, you know.
Right, there's another thing that's very Historia kind of like just did we forget Historia exists in the story? It's like, yeah. Remember there was a person that like became friends with her or something like that, and
she's pregnant.
She's pregnant and stuff.
Right, and so they were wanting to have her child be the backup plan so that way they didn't have to deal with Zeke.
Right.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that could have been Eren. And then it's just a thing of where, she's been lying. She told the story basically of like, you know, it was just, you know, some guy would have you.
And it was a story that Eren told her to tell, like it was his story.
God, like I'm like in this like, and you just pull me out so hard with it.
Sorry.
I'm like, but like Eren has to have tapped into paths. Like the fact that the baseball scene was nothing, It did not have any...
Yeah, right, because it feels like the show is setting up that something like that has happened because there's been a big change for Eren in season 4 versus season 3, right? Even though he was definitely
gained cosmic perspective.
Right, like he was definitely like going into some dark places and everything, right? But you know, with the time skip, there was a big change, and we don't know exactly how that happened, and it feels like it could be a paths thing. It could also just be that the trickle got worse and worse over those 4 years, you know? Like,
yes, there was a part. Wasn't there a part where he's like looking in the mirror and he sees Frida?
when he's in the prison, I think, after, or wait. No, there were a couple points because there was So there's the part in season 4, part 1, when he's like, you know, Tatakai, you know, and you know, Hanji, do you think you know, like, do you have any other ideas?
That's Eren already having basically tapped into paths at some point in the past.
Post 4-year time skip.
And he's like, I have my mission. I'm going. I will not stop moving forward.
Right.
You know?
And one of the things that is good to remember about Attack on Titan, this is something that I would always forget when I was reading the manga and also just watching the show, is that it actually takes place before the 4-year time skip. It takes place over a very
short
period of time, right?
Like just a year, basically. The whole like 3 seasons.
Exactly. Right. And even then, like the season
most of it is
stuff,
in season 1, actually. It's in that time skip part.
Yeah. Basically. If you don't count like the
them growing up,
right? But you know, actually, like, you know, episode 5, basically, and on, right? It's very short. Season 2 takes place directly after season 1 ends, right?
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a time skip in season 3, part 1, where things adjust as the city
they deal with the humans,
becomes,
and then
you know, well, it's mostly the city kind of adjusting to the revolution, the turnover of power.
Yes, adjusting to the turnover of power, and then getting to the point where then they can actually go to try and reclaim Wall Maria.
Shiganshina.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. So there was a time skip there, but, you know, very short period of time. Eren had that progression and everything of, you know, things getting crazy and all that stuff in that period of time. If you add 4 years onto that, even though we don't actually see those 4 years.
The lion's share of Eren's development happened not necessarily off screen, but there's
weird Titan shenanigans, paths shit.
Right. That definitely happened. But not only that, the idea is that over the course of this season, we've been going backwards into that time skip
to fill in some of those
fill in
pieces.
the gaps.
Yeah.
And the baseball one was one that I was very certain was like we fill this in and it's going to explain everything. And now I'm like, wait a minute. No, the only thing that it explains is that Eren dropped the ball. Pun intended, absolutely. Where he's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, which
feels so cosmically funny in the idea that these two people who are almost like avatar gods of Titan, you know, will and what have you, have this moment of, here, Eren, catch my plan. Let's toss the ball. It'll be just like family times, just like me and Zaver. Oh no.
I dropped it.
I've been getting sluggish here.
Yeah,
and it's just like
is that?
Oh, I got chills. Just
because that's either like a cosmic coincidence or like something happened, or like
Zeke just doubted for a second there and was like, "No, I choose to believe Eren." Like,
no, right?
Like,
I mean, I get Zeke doubting because it's like, oh, I dropped the ball metaphorically. Okay, you know, but what if Eren was trying to deceive Zeke? Why would he drop the ball?
No, I think it's really just
like he actually just accidentally didn't catch it. I think he literally
accidentally didn't catch it, but it's the idea that Eren is so disconnected from the physical, from the immediate, like, present.
Yeah, it's where am I? What is this body? What is this space? You know,
that he's like,
happening.
Okay, I guess I have gotten sluggish.
Right.
And I would 100% put that as a thing of where Zeke was like, oh, I shouldn't trust him 100%.
Well, but that's also potentially a fun angle to get at, because if Zeke, who hasn't had his brother for all this time, experiences similar struggles to what Armin and Mikasa struggle with, of where is the person, the friend, and the brother that we knew, right? He seems to be gone. That could add additional fuel to why Zeke specifically is like, no, we're going to be doing this together. I'm going to convince you because I'm right. And, like, what a wonderful way
it needs to be that so that he can feel that solidarity of, I'm not doing this alone.
And what a wonderful way if Zeke is actually going to be sort of like the main antagonist kind of this series or something like that. Because
in some ways
he's actually in power over Eren right now or something.
Or to put it in another angle, if Eren becomes the ultimate antagonist, then Zeke becomes one of the twist protagonist. He's like,
and how awesome would that be?
I trusted him. I put everything I could in him.
You want to save him? I want to save him too.
I want to save him
Maybe
too.
for very different reasons.
Right,
but, you know.
Because I think that Zeke's character, and this is why he's so brilliant, Zeke really believes that Eren has been under the effect of Grisha in the sense that Zeke knew Grisha for who he really was, in that Eren didn't know Grisha for who he really was.
Now, Grisha changed in that period of time.
Exactly.
You know,
But the idea that Eren, who's probably gone through paths shit already, might know Grisha way more than you do, Zeke. Like, way more.
And yet it totally makes sense for Zeke to think that, like, Eren might be doing this just because of the father. Because,
right.
Because, like, you kind of need to go, when, you know, when people develop and stuff, they need to go through that point where they are able to, you know, accept the teachings of the parent and then also reject them, so that that way they can become their own person and then, you know, decide to keep the things that were good, right? You know, because otherwise you don't become your own person. You're just a copy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like one of the thematic reasons back in like the first episode, where you know, Eren's like, oh, I want to go outside, you know, because, you know, this is thing, and then Grisha's like, oh. Okay. Now, because you're your own person, because
I'll show you the basement.
I will now give you basically the thing that...
The ability to choose.
Right, the ability to choose, exactly.
And then, of course, the ultimate tragedy is that because he wasn't pressuring him like he was with Zeke,
no.
But then, because of the walls getting attacked, he ends up needing to force it onto Eren because he
basically
can't do
saying,
it anymore.
you need to take this key. I will force this into your life.
I don't know if you're ready. I hope you are, because I was going to show you the basement anyways, but here you go.
So in some ways, they could both like end up being right here. Like Zeke's like, no, he is under the effect of Grisha's influence basically from all that time. He just doesn't realize how subtle it is, and that he's like Eren, you don't have to bear this burden. You don't have to go and walk the path of blood and do things this way. Let me do things this way. Yeah, obviously, it's a horrible end for, you know, our people, our families, our loved ones, but at the very least there will be peace, you know?
Right.
And maybe it's what makes Zeke so compelling as a character.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that adds fuel to the fire of why it was so important for Eren Kruger to tell Grisha what, like, when he has one thing that he can tell him, basically, it's love someone within the walls. Right?
Make a family.
Make a family, yeah.
Yep.
It's the only way to save Mikasa and Armin. Who are they? Whatever. But love someone within the walls. Make it so that you can change. Make it so that you don't repeat the mistakes of your past. You know, like that. God. That'd be a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I still want to believe basically that Eren's goal, ultimately, goal, because I really feel like this is Eren's story. This is Eren's story.
He's the main character for a reason.
He is the main character for a reason. Zeke has a very compelling character, like kind of direction, vision, and past, and all that stuff. But Eren's like just being the one that desires basically freedom. And in this moment here, before the episode ends, basically,
it's like, I was born into this world.
Eren,
what more reason do I need?
But the chains swap, basically.
Yes.
The moment of where we're like, oh my God, Zeke's chained up. That makes sense. Okay, cool, gotcha. Eren's the only one that can do this. So Zeke basically is saying, hey, I could swap the chains at any moment, but I want you to choose. I want you to believe that this is entirely you.
I truly want you to be free.
I want you to be free.
Which is so
then
crazy.
Once he then says, no, fuck you, brother, I'm going to do this my way. Zeke's just like, I'm brokenhearted, like,
oh, you must still not be free.
Yeah,
which is
you
like,
must not be free.
Which is so
not
delicious.
The thing of now I have to restrain you because, you know, you don't know what you're, you know, doing or what have you. It's like, it's kind of like that, but it's also
that's the wonderful, like, split between the two, because to basically be like, all right, Eren, chains are on you now, and I'm going to show you how I'm right. That actually just starts to sound like brainwashing, right? Like, you know, but at the same time, he truly believes that Eren is still bound by the chains of his father, right?
Right,
so,
which means that they're going to basically
I'm going to free you, right? And who's, you know, how do you determine, you know, what's freedom and what isn't, right? You know, like, isn't that a thing that the individual decides? But then, like, what's freedom to one person sounds like bondage to another, you know? So, yeah.
I want the full Evangelion, like, crazy paths, time, just madness in the next episode. I want a full-on them just going across all of time and space and just looking at potential futures,
Sure.
the past in general, and being like,
oh man, on iteration 476.
No, not iterations. Basically, sorry, with futures, sure, but with past, basically being like
alternate other paths that have gone on, when then memory's been sent back to change things a bit to get to
right. Because I would assume that Zeke's not wanting to send memories back here. He's basically like just wanting to utilize
action.
Well, no, he's wanting to utilize the actual like almost data bank here of being like, let's look at the way things are, and tell me. Yeah. Like, you tell me why your plan is so great here.
Right. His desire to affect change is in the present. The other path stuff he would want to look at as a way of persuading Eren.
As a way of persuading Eren.
Not through actually like going on to a new timeline or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. But so all that stuff I am super excited about. I love how they did it. I loved the way that they stopped time when Eren got shot, but then also the way they transitioned into the Paths realm.
Yeah,
with all of
those flashes, those images.
That was beautiful. Like,
my favorite one is the Grisha one.
Oh, yeah?
Grisha one where you see going through all these characters here, and then you see young Grisha going out of his... going into his kid eye. Right. Then out of his adult eye.
And then, as he's freaking out, and then the world turns upside down.
The blue, gray, orange kind of over his like body here, where it's almost like, what?
Yeah, I can't remember what shot that is, like, of that expression, that he's in, but yeah.
Like, to me, like, looking at this, like, this feels like the kind of thing where we're going to get probably some context to this actually in the next episode.
It's possible.
Because I want
to say that we've seen that before, but I can't remember where.
Like, for things that I would love to have them basically go and like look at with like very like specific detail is I want them to look at basically the earlier moments of Grisha, basically. And for Zeke to basically share his experience with Grisha to Eren and be like,
this is the kind of person our father was.
This is the father that you had. No, sorry, this is the father that I had.
Right, and that could be really interesting.
And based on that, you need to then look at who your father was to you.
Sure, and see if that gives any additional perspective of like, oh, maybe he wasn't actually, the kind of person I thought he was. But at the same time, then potentially Eren could show Zeke, he
could twist it back.
No. Our father changed, right?
And I think that's why this image of Grisha is so powerful. Is he looks full of shame, regret,
and
anguish,
horror.
And horror.
Yeah.
And he's like, what have I done?
Yeah.
Who am I? Like, what is this? And the fact that that's basically like the final like character flash, really, before we go into like the key winding back counterclockwise.
Yeah, like it's a clock. I love that.
The duality of the color here, and then showing very clearly
some people we have not seen before. I don't think so.
Yes, these all look to be very much new characters here that I would assume personally are previous
Titan holders.
Well, yeah, previous Titan holders for sure, but potentially previous founders.
Sure, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. It goes out of Grisha.
Oh man,
we have
we've talked about here. Attack on Titan going full Eva for so long.
Yeah,
but now we're actually.
This looks like Armin with glasses, though.
It kind of does. But like now we're actually there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still spinning counterclockwise. Yeah. I love all the bird imagery, though.
Yeah, bird motif in Attack on Titan is on point.
Oh. Yeah. Also, this little bit here of who it's clearly Ymir, after using the kind of the walk there, having a mouth open to reveal
I thought
the
that
light.
was just Yggdrasil appearing.
I mean, yes, but the way in which it opened, it's kind of like a mouth opening up.
Okay, yeah,
so it's
I like it.
Inversion of a mouth closing, eating, consuming.
All right.
To then reveal the light of Yggdrasil. Like I am ready for the trippy shit. Give me the trippy shit next episode.
I don't think you have to worry about that. But
now I am really curious. I don't know if Zeke's lying here about whether or not he's obtained the founder. Like, I want him to be telling the truth here.
Well, okay, so what he is basically...
Yeah. Over that course of time, I'm here without being obtainted... Wow, I can't speak. As long as I with royal blood will it... Yeah, he says... Yeah, the chains fall off, they dissolve. Unlike the kings of the walls, kings plural, I'm here without being tainted by the first king's ideals, right? The vow to renounce war.
Yeah,
right. No. The vow to renounce war.
No, yeah, that's the first king's ideals.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So, Zeke was saying that because I have royal blood, Ymir feels the need to do whatever I say. Right. The founder is a slave with no.
So we were wrong. Eren was actually the key then.
Right, because if the two were put together, then they would have had the whole thing of the vow to renounce war, which becomes a problem. But yeah, it's about the royal blood, not about the actual Titan. The Titan is just the thing that brings them here.
So that's what basically that's the reason why Ymir is a slave as well. Oh shit! Wait. Then that means then that the moment where she was restoring.
Zeke.
She had to do that. Yeah. That was not something that she wanted to do necessarily. Right. That was fuck. So that means that in a lot of ways, Eren needs to set Ymir free from Zeke.
Yeah.
So
which if you think about it would be like
which would only be possible by going back in time and sending a memory back, like, really, like, a long time ago. So Zeke might actually be undoing the whole thing here by having probably some kind of Ghost of Christmas Past kind of little, like, potential journey through the databanks of time, where they just go and be like, all right, Eren, Grisha was this.
The mechanical reason for why we're going into crazy exposition, lore dump, backstory, all that crazy stuff.
Yeah. You would know more than the key. I just love that.
It's a great way to do a switcheroo on something that really feels like because with the way the mechanics are set up, like the whole Titans bloodlines and founding Titan and all of that stuff is it's trippy and complicated and really hard to follow. Even me having read the manga and everything, I can only imagine what it's like for people that
guys. Things are just
watch the anime. What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm listening, but things are just clicking like even more. He says, I will never abandon you. I'll fix you with the founder's power. He is going to send memories into the past. He's basically saying, no. I get it. You've been brainwashed. Touch me. Let's use the founding Titan's power.
So then maybe that's how, like,
to basically
season
save
3 to
you.
Season 4 Eren had that change.
Well, I mean, there could be a lot of reasons for that, but basically in that he's like, I need to basically set you on the right path here.
Because then there'd be cyclical paradox, whatever.
Yeah, there's all kinds of potential things with that.
Right, because if he does that, then that means we're going to be going on to a new timeline.
Or that this has always been this way. You know, this has always been.
But if that were to happen, then that would be an inconsistency with the idea of that then none of sending memories back in time wouldn't really mean anything because you'd already be on that timeline anyways, right? Like
again,
because that's one of those things where time travel shenanigans gets weird.
I don't want to debate the ideas of how time travel works because time travel doesn't work. That's not a real thing. So
people can't do it.
No. The point is that Zeke believes that by touching him, by them utilizing their connection, he will fix him with the founder's power.
Right.
So now can a founder get themselves fixed by the founder's power being used by someone else? This is some very...
Right, because this is a very weird situation.
Very specific loophole here.
In that you have someone who does not have royal blood, that has the founding Titan, and is working with someone with royal blood.
Right.
And given the fact
who says that they can control the founding Titan's power.
Right, and the founding Titan's power is basically just to bring them into this space where they can interact with the founder, Ymir.
No, I mean, it's like...
And then she does stuff for them.
I mean, yeah, but he can also literally, like, control Eldians. Like it's literally a, like... It's literally like key access to making the euthanization plan possible.
Right, yeah.
So he could absolutely go and... like, hard recode things for Eren.
Right, because if you can change people at a biological level, theoretically, you could also muck with their brain, even though, like, maybe that would be, like, harder or something, because you don't necessarily understand what makes a person, you know? So, like, just stating your desire to have someone be a certain way, that how does that get translated, you know?
And that's why I think that because of all this being Zeke's plan here, there is no way this is going to work, because Eren's will and desire to be free is so incredibly strong.
Okay, but here's another thing to point out. Given that Zeke wants to fix Eren, unless he is just wanting a basically husk of Eren that will then, you know, repeat everything.
No,
he doesn't want that.
He's too idealistic for that. Of course he doesn't want that. No.
He wants to actually, like, not use right-handed power, founding Titan power.
No, he wants to use both.
No, okay.
He needs to use one in order to use the other. Like, he can't do...
He wants to do special things with the founding Titan's power in order to convince Eren.
Right.
Right, not to directly change him.
I know, but that is a thing that will probably end up happening on some level, because, like, how else is this going to work?
If you have an eternity and you can show people history in whatever way you want, you could twist the stuff into...
You could twist all kinds of stuff.
It's just brainwashing at that point with an infinite amount of time.
So it's the tragedy that Zeke might end up becoming, in some ways, a Grisha-type character who ends up doing the same mistake over again, where Eren then basically tells him, as he's like, no, you didn't learn. My father did learn, but I don't think you did necessarily. Like, in some ways, maybe, Zeke, you were so trapped in some ways by the father that you had that you ignored the fact that I didn't get that father. Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't
I wish
get that.
I could save you.
I wish I could save you.
Like,
Watch me try now. And then...
Sure. Because, I mean, if, like, we've always said that, like, Attack on Titan, it makes sense for it, or you've said this, and I've kind of been like, yeah, that makes sense, because, you know, didn't want to talk about what kind of conversations may or may not happen at the end of Attack on Titan, but conversations have two people speaking, right? If it's just the one, then that's just a monologue,
It's not interesting.
So it's not about what Zeke will say, and it's not about what Eren will say. It's about what they both say, right? That's going to be the real gold. So
yes, and I might be overemphasizing the idea that he's literally going to, like you said, right-handed power, use the founding Titan to, turn the wheel of Eren's, mind, which I don't think is literally what he's doing here, but in a subtle, kind of messed up kind of way, by using the power at all, in addition to just talking to him here, he is doing that.
Right, because if Eren...
he is attempting to do that.
Right. The only way it could be not that is if then Eren also had the ability to do that on the same level, so it was a conversation on equal footing. Right.
Which I think could happen.
Sure. Zeke might even be like, hey, what do you want to look at? Try and prove me wrong, right? Sitting at the desk with a cup of coffee or whatever, right? Like,
no, I honestly think it's going to be a visual trip, much like this kind of transition was, where they're just going to be going through whatever they need to in order to come to their conclusions. And there's going to be multiple back and forths of them talking. Sure. It's not going to be a thing of Eren sitting there chained and like can't say anything. And
his eyes forced open,
Yeah. It's not going to be that. No. It's going to be a thing where Eren, I think, flips the script on him of, you haven't learned. You're essentially just regurgitating the same thing that you were taught by your father. Yeah. And yet you have the audacity to call me basically someone who's not free.
Right. Let's see whose ideals win out.
Well, yeah, that's probably what the episode will be. But I think Eren's basically just going to take a fat shit on his ideals and say,
fact
you didn't actually.
The fact that Zeke actually thought that Eren would go along with the euthanization plan shows just how little he knows Eren.
But not only that. Armin's line of, what are you willing to sacrifice? If you want to change something, you have to be willing to sacrifice anything.
Right.
Now, what is Zeke willing to sacrifice? He's willing to sacrifice the future of an entire race of people.
Yep.
But what is he willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, Zeke is already on his way out.
Yeah, and he's kind of given up on the Eldians in general, so he isn't really sacrificing anything. Is he willing to sacrifice his brother?
That's the real question here.
So far, he hasn't, it doesn't look like he is.
Exactly. And I think Eren is willing to sacrifice his brother.
Okay.
And I think that's where the tragedy of this story will be. That Eren is like, you actually aren't willing to go all the way, basically, of what's needed.
Let me show you what all the way looks like.
And this is where Eren becomes basically the villain, is that it's the thing of where someone so believes that they're right, that they're willing to throw everything else aside in order to achieve that goal.
That would be kind of fun because, like, you know, there's that whole like anime trope of like, oh, that main character, he's a real monster, you know. But like, I feel like Eren has actually like had that be a lot more of an actual thing, you know?
Like, season 4, Eren has been a monster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's been terrifying.
And even earlier, you know, there were those points where he absolutely would go animalistic and things like that, and you know, it's the whole I will sacrifice my humanity and all that stuff for the sake of, you know, this thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, when the stakes are cosmic, what is that? What happens?
Well, in some ways, what is a kind of a meta thing you can pull out of this here is that means that this story is not necessarily going to end cosmic.
Okay.
It's going to end a lot more physical and a lot more carnal, if you will.
Sure. I mean, yeah, ending with a conversation. There's probably going to be things that happen after the conversation, you know? If nothing else, just from the fact that we are still very early in this second part of the season.
Yeah, I would say that the big thing as to where we could have the conversation type ending and stuff, very much like what this seems to be. Like this is like literally the thing I was kind of thinking they would end the series on, something like this, where it's like, okay, cool. But the thing is, there's only 2 people involved in this conversation here.
That's true.
I want Armin involved in something like this. I want Reiner involved in something like this. I mean, Falco's now a Titan.
I would love that too.
In some ways, he could be involved in something like this.
No, maybe if it's just like, because I was going to say, like, how would that work? But no, if they're Titans, then maybe they could get brought up there. And then, poor Mikasa, always left out, you know.
I mean...
Sorry, you don't get to be a part of this.
The simplest,
Titan Club only.
Yeah, the simplest way of it would be that Eren eats Zeke, right? So now he's got the full package, right?
Right.
He's all
theoretically,
in, he's ready
if Zeke
to go.
has destroyed the vow to renounce war, now the problem is that Eren's head got blown off. So like this is happening, but it's happening in that instant as Eren dies because his head was blown off. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we saw Zeke die and come back.
That's true, but I think that was because he has royal blood, and I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, theoretically, yeah. So crazy shit can happen. We're at pads.
So what I would love is that Eren's last moment of humanity is he brings all of them, like all the Titans, basically.
Okay.
Like that are you know there.
Right, of the conscious Titans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the 9 Titans.
And basically brings them into this space, and just does his best to basically say, now take this world.
Wow.
Go where I cannot.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. But y'all, we're going to save much more discussion that we could get into the stream that's going to be happening tomorrow on twitch.tv/Semblance of Sanity. So be sure to check that out. The phrase for this episode, though.
I feel like there's a lot we could choose.
There's a lot we could choose. I feel like we have to have it be like the final line. When I save the world, it'll be with you. I feel like that's too
a long line. I want to make some sort of meme joke about Beyblades and heads and things like that, but maybe that wouldn't be as fitting.
Oh shit. What? Let's have it be it's not your fault.
Ooh.
That's really good. It's got that stuff from Good Will Hunting, you know, but then it's also the idea of that's what the crux of the next episode is going to focus on. Is how Zeke's going to convince him.
And who knows, they might both be trying to tell that to the other person.
Right. Hey, it's not your fault. Yeah.
Because let's be real. The fact that you ended up experiencing things that made you think that this was a good idea, Zeke, that's fairly understandable. The problem is that right now you're trying to do it, you know, which is a bit of an issue, right? But yeah.
Like I don't think Eren's plan is necessarily going to be that much better. It's just the thing of where it's like,
who knows? Theoretically, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. Yeah, it's just the thing of whose is going to have the most of a lasting, you know, positive effect.
Yeah,
because we can't. No, like there's so many ways I could go. Yep. So it's not your fault is the phrase. It's a powerful one. I feel like it's simple. It's to the point.
Yeah.
If you want to have your comment featured, make sure to leave that in quotations. It's not your fault. and Jacob will select some great comments for us to feature in the next episode's reaction.
Man.
But until then, be sure to check out our Patreon. We've got full-length timer reactions there if you want to get access to those. We've also got Discord, where if you contribute on any level of access with Patreon, you get access to that, where you can chat with the manga people in there. You can chat with the anime onlys in there and talk with us about anime stuff, stories in general. And also be sure to check out that Twitch channel, leave and follow so you get ready for the stream tomorrow.
Indeed, we do streams every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.